Well, hey there. This is Zeke, and I'm out in my backyard. The other day, I heard a self proclaimed leader of the black community um, make the statement that only black parents have to have the talk with their children with regards to police. And I beg to differ. I think every parent who cares about their child should have a talk about police and police interactions for their safety and for the sake of society. Um, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to have that talk with you right now if you're willing to listen. The first thing that you need to realize about police is that they're human beings. They're people with lives, with families, friends, and they want to go back to that at the end of their shift every day. Um, the second thing that you need to understand is their jobs are incredibly dangerous. Their job is to enforce laws. And a lot of people don't want to have laws enforced on them. They just want them enforced on other people. And so the cops have a very difficult job, and it's a very dangerous job. And the next thing you need to understand is some of them, I believe all of them, join the police force out of altruistic reasons, and they just want to serve their communities and keep their communities safe. But some do get a bit of a God complex, and but that's rare, and it's usually policed within the ranks of the police department. Um, they don't. The police don't want to have a bad reputation, and right now they have an extremely bad reputation, and that's not the fault of the police. It's the fault of activists and media overhyping every little mistake that's made. Now, some people are going to take that to mean that I think the death of George Floyd was a little mistake. It was not. It was a blatant abuse of authority. And that police officer and the other three that were with that police officer are no longer police officers. And they're under arrest, and they are charged with very significant crimes. But that was just those police officers. That was not the police. And if you've got the attention of a police officer, chances are you've done something wrong. You violated some sort of law, or you're in trouble and they're to help you. But the way you should interact with police, if you have the attention of a police officer, is to first remain calm. Second, keep your hands where they can see them. What you have to understand is they don't know you, and you could be capable of just about anything. And police see a lot of really crazy stuff happen. Always be respectful towards a police officer. That makes all of it go much easier. And the worst that's going to happen if you just follow these few steps is you might be arrested, or you might be given a ticket, or you might be given a verbal warning. But if they arrest you and you don't think that that's founded or just, well, the time to address that is not on the street with the cop. It's in the courts. You have the ability to file complaints or bring lawsuits even. So if you believe that the cop is wrong, well, then just roll with it. If you try to resist, they're going to step up the use of force. And that's because their job is to enforce laws. So they need to stay in control of any situation they're involved in. It's just the nature of their job. And you have to understand that. because they can escalate it all the way up to the use of deadly force if they feel they need to. If they feel their lives or the lives of somebody else are in danger because of your actions, well, chances are you're going to get shot. It's just the way it is. The truth is, despite all the media hype that's going on right now and all the blatant lies that are out there, more police officers are killed in the line of duty than people are killed by the police, regardless of race. And now there's far left so-called progressive Democrat politicians and activists who are demanding to disband police forces and defund police forces. That's insanity. So what would happen if they were successful in that? Well, then we'd all be on our own, and we'd have to make up our own rules and laws, because the laws that we have on the books, there's no way to enforce them anymore. So we'd have to take matters into our own hands. And frankly, I don't want to live in that kind of a society. If you have been paying attention to the news, some of these activists tried a little experiment in Seattle. They took over 6 city blocks, and they weren't allowing police or fire or rescue personnel in there. And the person who had the most guns and was the most ruthless was the one who decided that he was in charge of the police force now, and he armed people and made up rules as he went. People were shot and killed. A 19-year-old and a 16-year-old were shot and killed, and a 14-year-old is in critical condition in the hospital, and one other person is also in the hospital. That's not the way to have a civil society. That's a dictatorship. History tells us those never end well. So have that talk with your children, and do not tell them, like this leader of the black community told or said he has to tell his children, that because of the color of your skin, chances are the police will kill you. Because if you're telling your kids that, you're lying to them, and you're setting them up for failure. You're setting up a confrontation that doesn't need to be there. Well, there's my thoughts on it. You have a great day.